Stop renovating for yourself and start renovating for your buyers. Here is the hard truth. You can spend $50,000 on upgrades that you might think are worth it. However, when your buyer comes in the house, they're thinking, why in the world did they spend the money on that when all they needed to do was upgrade this? So buyer psychology is simple. They want a home to feel good. They want warm energy. They want it to feel like their family can live there. So in today's video, I'm breaking down the top 12 features that you should be thinking about that buyers are going to love. So let's get into it. Okay, natural light. I love natural light. This has been a big conversation in my whole life with all the homes that I've had. And I promised myself I was never going to buy another north-facing home because it did not have enough light in it. So when a buyer comes into the house, it really needs to be bright and light. Your windows need to be big and airy. So if you have an opportunity to bring in more windows, to bring in more light, I completely recommend that. So here's the thing. Even though you may not have the opportunity to make new windows, you do have the opportunity to make sure that there is nothing blocking your windows, like drapery, like plantation shutters, which I do love, but they block a lot of light. So you really need to be thinking, how is that buyer looking at the house when they come in the door? Maybe you don't love the way it looks without this drapes hanging down the side, but buyers don't really care. They want to see how much light is in the home. So here's one thing about lighting, and I want to make sure that you are not just going out and putting the bright 5,000K hospital lighting lights in your home. It makes people feel a little uncomfortable. So while you're thinking, well, this is bright, this is what Katie said, I want you to be looking at that 3,000K, a soft, warm light that's going to make it feel warm and encouraging and inviting for them to walk into. Recessed lighting is great, but you've got to make sure it's the right tone of the bulbs. One other thing I want to make sure is that all of your bulbs look the same. So you can't have the 5,000K in one area and then the 3,000K in the other area. The cool and the warm colors, it just won't work. So I want to make sure that when you're looking at your lighting, you're looking at all of it in unison. Do all the lights have the same color? It may be something that you miss, but I'm telling you, buyers get that feeling when they walk in the door and they won't miss it. Number 2, a functional floor plan. I can't even tell you, this is probably the most important thing. Now, it used to be where you had to have this huge, gigantic open layout, and that's really not the case anymore. You don't have to have an open layout. You have to have a functional layout. And part of that reason is because sound definitely carries. So when you're looking at remodeling your home and you've heard, oh, buyers love open layouts. Yeah, they love open layouts, but they don't love open layouts to the point where mom and dad are sitting downstairs and whispering or having dinner while they've got their baby upstairs sleeping and the sound carries through the whole house. So keep in mind there is a distinction, but layout is really significant when you're looking at remodeling your home. Does it flow? Are you seeing sight lines from room to room? Really important, and this is where I'm going to suggest that you get some professional help in. If you can't figure this out yourself, do not guess. Could cost you a lot of money in the end. Number 3, one thing buyers love, you may not, but buyers do, is a fireplace. Now, I don't see a lot of people not purchasing a home just because there's not a fireplace, but it is a major letdown if there is not a fireplace in a home and people are expecting it, especially if you're more in the north. Now, when you're in Florida, you don't see it as much or people don't use it as much. I will tell you, being in Northeast Florida, it's been a little cold. We've been keeping it on quite a bit. But in the winter, when I was in Chicago, it was on every single day, and I could not have lived without my fireplace. It's just a nice bonus to have. So if you're thinking maybe you're going to brick up your fireplace because you're rearranging your house, I really want you to make sure you're getting some professional advice from an agent to make sure that is not hurting your resale value. And to that end, I have something that I am rolling out today to all of you. If you've downloaded my Seller's Playbook before, I've got something new. Yes, this has been a long time in the works, but this is my Smart Sellers Timeline Planner. I am really excited about this because a lot of this is new content that I have not given you. This is going to show you exactly what you need to do step by step based upon where you are at in the process of selling your home. If you're 12 months more out, if you're 6 to 12 months, if you're 3 to 6 months, or you're 0 to 3 months. This is going to show you exactly the things that you need to be doing. What do you need to be prepared for? What should you be spending your money on? When do you need to talk to an agent? All of these things are in this planner, and it's new, and I am incredibly excited. So use the QR code below, go to my website, or the link is in the description. Let me know what you think about it. I'm really excited to roll it out. Number 4, a kitchen that's updated but not overdone. Now, many people think that they have to update their whole kitchen in order to sell their homes. And I get a lot of people, especially older people, who are like, oh, our kitchen's just old and new buyers want it to be new. They want white cabinets and they want granite countertops. And, the issue is that you don't know. Okay. You sitting on your couch do not know what buyers are looking for. Now, you may know what you like. I am not going to discount that. But if you're thinking about redoing your whole kitchen because you think your kitchen is old, I need you to stop right there. Okay. Definitely just stop, because you have to make sure that you're not putting money into a location that you're not going to get it out. I've seen way too many people who replace their countertops and paint their cabinets because they think that's what they're supposed to do, when in reality, the rest of the house is a complete mess and they have just thrown $30,000 away on things that they shouldn't have. So this is really why I've created this new planner, because it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do in there. It's going to tell you how much you should spend on certain things, but it's going to give you that roadmap. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen sellers spend way too much money and they did not get their money out in the end. And the problem with that is if you've spent too much money, you're going to probably price your home too high. So you need to understand what the value of your home is in the market. You need to understand the absorption rate. You need to understand, is the market going up or is it going down? Vitally important before you put $1 into your kitchen. So when I say it needs to be updated, not overdone, what I mean, it's got to be clean. You got to be looking at your appliances. I really recommend, if you are thinking about new appliances, that you don't replace a broken appliance with a white appliance. It just doesn't look right. So these are all things that you need to know, and an agent in your marketplace can tell you. You guys can always reach out to me. I'm always happy to talk to you about this, but I don't know your specific market. That is so important, why you need some type of partner to come in and talk to you about this. Is it worth it for you to replace your backsplash? That is not one of my favorite things to do. Countertops. I hate it when people put new countertops on old cabinetry. So this is something, I don't want you putting out a lot of money. I want you to make it look clean though. I want you to make it look fresh. I want you to clean up the grout. I want you to make sure the floor looks good, no dirt. So when I say updated, I don't mean it has to be brand new. I also don't want you to make it too personalized for yourself with crazy backsplashes. That's probably one of the biggest things that I see that I don't like, are specialized backsplashes. You may think that they're fine because they seem trendy. Do not pick trendy backsplashes. Like, if you are thinking that you're going to be redoing parts of your kitchen, I would honestly just go with like a subway tile, a white subway tile in the back. That's non-offensive. Nobody's going to hate it. People may not love it. Nobody's going to hate it. They're not going to say that has to be ripped out. When you go with some type of a backsplash that is like, ooh, I don't know, a little different colors, things like that, and you think, well, it's gray, it looks normal, it looks neutral, this is what I'm seeing in the magazines. Stop right there. Don't spend any money. Get some help from an agent who can come in and help you with that. Number 5, bathrooms with real counter space. Now, I had a situation where I was helping a seller. They wanted to remodel their bathroom, and I'd helped them buy their house many years prior. And she reached out to me, Katie, we're thinking about redoing our bathroom and we're not ready to sell, but can you tell us, we want to put 2 sinks in the bathroom. And I was like, 2 sinks? This is a tiny bathroom. She's like, well, I've heard, master bathrooms always need 2 sinks. So I went and I pulled up the pictures again. I mean, the sink area was like, well, it was maybe like this big. It was not very big at all. Yes, technically you could fit 2 sinks there, but where's the woman going to put her hairdryer or her curling iron or her makeup? There literally was no room for any of that. If they had put 2 sinks in that, a buyer most likely would have had to come in and then rip it out. It just did not make sense. So again, you need to be thinking, I don't want you just to hear what you're supposed to be doing and then just go and do it. You've got to do your research. You've got to think about these things and make sure you're putting your money in appropriately. But you've got to have some counter space, because that woman is not going to buy that house if there is no room for her makeup. I'm telling you, that's the truth. Number 6, This is a huge benefit. A huge win is a separate office, typically an office on the first floor. I mean, you can take a bedroom on the second floor and then make it an office, but when there is an office on the first floor, that is like just an added bonus. So if you ever have that opportunity to maybe take part of a living room and make it into an office, maybe it's a living room you're not using, I do think that's a really good idea. We did that at my house. We had taken our main family living room and we turned it into my husband's office. And it worked great and we were using it all of the time. So kind of be a little creative with some of your space. Are there rooms in your house that you're not using? Maybe it's your dining room and maybe you don't need a formal dining room. Maybe it should be an office. So just kind of get creative. Can you split a large living room in half and make it part office? You might be able to. And these are the creative layouts of floor plans that you need to be thinking about when you are doing things in your house like this. Is there are a lot of creative ways of looking at a house that you may not have thought about. Again, make sure you get that agent in to kind of talk it through with you and make sure you're getting the advice so you don't do something that's going to cost you in the end. Number 7, this is huge. Now, I didn't realize how huge it was until I lived without this, which is a mudroom or kind of a drop zone. So if you're in a cold climate and you're coming in from a snowy day out of the car, you've got boots, you've got sweaters, you've got scarves, hats, gloves, and you've got little kids. Like getting them in and out of this clothing is very, very difficult. So in Chicago, I've seen many garages that dump right into the family room. And that is literally a reason somebody will not buy a home in the north. Now, when I moved down to Florida, I was like, well, where do you put your coats? The reality is you don't need coats the same way you do in the northern states because it's not as cold. Now, in some areas of Florida, like this week, it would be nice to have a little bit of a mudroom, but it's not as important as in the northern states. And this literally can be a reason somebody will not buy your house. So if you have an opportunity to possibly add on a mudroom, it might be worth it. Maybe. Ask your agent. Number 8, thoughtful storage, not just big storage. Now, again, I mean, I'm talking about Florida and Chicago just because I see the big differences in different locations and how they live. And in Chicago, pretty much everyone has a basement. Like if you're in Chicago and you're trying to sell your home and you don't have a basement, that's a huge negative. Like people will not come to buy your house. In Florida, nobody has basements. When I was in Chicago, I had like a 2,500 square foot basement with stuff. Like a lot of stuff. You never had to worry about not having enough room for stuff. In Florida, I have no storage. Like I don't understand it actually when all these builders are building these houses in Florida that they thought nobody needs storage. It was just a crazy thing that nobody has storage down here, which is why there are so many storage units in Florida. So if you have an opportunity to have some thoughtful storage, maybe it's a little bit over an attic or somewhere that just is a little creative, that goes a long, long way. Now, some people I've seen have put little sheds up in their backyard. That could also work too, depending on your climate. But storage is really a big deal. If you do not have storage, if you do not have a front hall closet, if you don't have any place to put your stuff, that can be a real reason somebody will not buy your house. Number 9, a laundry room that is not an afterthought. So I have seen some amazing laundry rooms in my time in some of these houses that I've been in, like massive, huge laundry rooms, which are made with like a gift wrapping station as well. And these are like huge places to fold, hang, steam, iron. You know, that's a really big deal on where it is and how thoughtful it is. Now, you don't have to have something like that, but if you only have a very small laundry room and maybe it's a stackable, maybe there's no place to actually put a basket with clothes in it. That is a downside. That is a reason somebody will not buy your home. So when you're thinking about maybe a laundry room, I don't want you just to think, oh, we can just hide it behind these closets. It really is a nice benefit for buyers. Now, it's not necessarily something that they may not pull the trigger on if, you know, the laundry room isn't great. But all things being equal, somebody may say, you know what, I just hate that laundry room. It's right off the garage and there's no place for me to hang anything there. There's no place for me to even bring a laundry basket in. It's a room with basically a washer and a dryer and that is it. So I want you just to be thinking about it that it is a little bit of an issue. I don't want you to go out and start spending money to remodel it, but I just want you to be thinking about it that that may be a reason why a buyer may not buy your house. Number 10, a garage that fits cars and stuff. Now, I'm telling you, when you've got kids, you've got little kids, you've got stuff. You've got strollers, you've got bikes, you've got balls, you've got everything, right? And if you are in a tight garage, that has no space around the side of it for anything, it's going to be an issue. Like, I definitely have seen that being an issue for people when they're thinking about buying a home. They're like, there's just no place for us to put our kids' stuff. If that is the case, you may want to look into a nice outdoor shed, well done, something that's well done, not something that's just put up without a permit, but something that's well done, so that you take that objection away when a buyer comes in, because then you're like, oh, well, if you want to put your snowblower here, you put it in this shed. So if you have a garage that has no space for anything other than the cars, that could really be an issue. And that is something that buyers nowadays really do want. All right, so the last two I think are pretty good. This next one isn't something you can necessarily control, but you can control it when you're purchasing your house. So number 11 is a neighborhood your buyers can feel themselves in. So this is something that I hear a lot of, is neighbors of a seller who really do a bad job of taking care of their house. You know, it's deferred maintenance. They haven't gotten the trees cut. It's a real mess. And so you just need to be aware of that. If you've got something going on like that, there may be nothing that you can do. So if you're thinking about doing all these updates to sell your house, but your neighborhood is not a place that buyers really want to be in, it's just not warm, it's not inviting, they don't have beautiful trees, things like that, you may not want to spend any money on doing these things that I'm talking about. This is definitely where you need an agent in to come in and talk to you about the specific things that you should do and you shouldn't do, especially if your neighborhood is just maybe not a fantastic one. Okay, before I get into my last one, I want to tell you that all the things that I'm talking about in this video, you can do yourself, like you can guess, but it is imperative that you get a real estate agent in your community, a hyper local real estate agent in your community who can tell you what your market is doing. Is it going up or down? That is incredibly important to know if it's a buyer's or a seller's market before you invest any money in your home. I've worked with thousands of people. I am not a YouTuber. I am a real estate agent who happens to be on YouTube. And many people out there who you are seeing are YouTubers. Many agents or referral companies who are referring agents to you aren't doing what we're doing. So what they have is they have 100 agents who they know, or they put it into their Facebook group and they ask who can service a referral. That's not what we're doing. We are literally going into your town. We are literally looking at where your home is. We are literally looking to see if the agent that we have referred to you has sold in that specific area. We're seeing how many they've sold. We're seeing how many listings they have. We're seeing how many buyers they've worked with. We're looking at their team structure. We're looking at their support. We're looking at their photos, which is incredibly important. So when we are taking you on as our client, we are giving you more data, more research, and we are verifying that these are hyper-local, truth-certified real estate agents. If you ask us for a hyper-local, truth-certified real estate agent, I'm going to give you full access to my seller's vault. This is hundreds of videos and transcripts, and this is completely searchable. You can go in, type what you're looking for. You're looking for staging, or you're looking for pricing, because we want you to be the most educated seller there is. Because I know when I'm referring my sellers to agents, I'm able to tell those agents my seller is incredibly educated because they have all of the data. They have all of the resources. They have my seller's playbook. They have the smart seller's checklist. Now you have access to my whole vault. In addition, in that vault, you are going to be getting for free my Ready, Set, Sell Masterclass. It's a $249 value that is only available to you if you ask me to help you find an agent. You will also get a free live Q&A call every month with me and Lisa. We will be there for you, and you get to ask us your questions. So you're going to ask, how much is this going to cost? And the answer is, it's free. The reason it's free is because on the back end, if I refer to you a hyper-local truth-certified agent and you choose to use them, they will be giving me a cut of their commission, only when you close. So there is zero obligation for you to have me help you find a true certified hyper-local real estate agent. I promise, when you work with me and Lisa, you are getting a board of directors. You are getting your team. You are getting us to help you get through closing and get your home sold for more money, stress-free. So I know this was pretty long, but I wanted to explain it to you and how we do it. And we're not just like any other referral company. So if you're looking for an agent, you need that hyper-local, true certified agent. You're gonna go to katispaniak.com. You're gonna use the QR code, or the link is in the description. We look forward to being your partners in your home sale. And number 12, this is my favorite, this is my best, this is the most important thing you can do in your home, which is make sure your home looks like it's in great condition. This means zero deferred maintenance. If anything is broken, you have to fix it. You have to fix it. You do not want your doorbell broken. In addition, everything has to be clean. I want you to be cleaning weekly, monthly, whatever it is. I need your home to be as clean as possible because that is the most important thing, the most significant thing when somebody decides to buy your home is there is a great base. And it all starts with making sure there is no deferred maintenance. It makes sure it starts with it being incredibly clean. Okay, guys, so I have so many resources for you, and I don't want you to forget how many free things I have for you if you're thinking about selling your home right now. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you punch this out to other people. Share, post in the comments, give me a like. I want to make sure that this gets out to as many people as possible. We also have my Seller's Playbook, which I've had for 2 years now, which is a 53-page book just for you about how to get your home ready to sell. I have my new Smart Sellers Checklist and Planner, brand new as of today's video. Make sure you download it. I have my free Facebook group. My free Facebook group is 5,200 people and growing. You want to post your questions in there? Go ahead, post them in there. I have got you. We're in there every day. We've got such a nice community of supportive people who are on the same journey as you. And then finally, if you need an agent, you know I've got you. I've got all these links here for you. They're all down below as well, because I'm here to help you sell your home for more money, but especially stress-free. I'm Kati Spaniak, and this is Truth in Real Estate.